Let's solve one problem which is given here. So what is given is you have been given xc of t which is inputted to a processing system which is processing this continuous time signal using a discrete time system. Okay, so you have a C2D converter which has got a sampling rate of t. You have a D2C converter which has got a cutoff of pi by t. Okay, this is given. Another thing which is given is xc of j omega. The Fourier transform of xc of t is given, which is this, which has got a maximum frequency of omega m. Okay, then what is given is omega s. The sampling frequency is 4 times omega m. This is given. Okay. The another specification which is given is the discrete time system, which is here, is an ideal low pass filter with cutoff of pi by 8. This is the normalized cutoff. Pi by 8 is the normalized cutoff. You are told to find out, draw xs of j omega, x of e raised to j omega, y of e raised to j omega, ys of e raised to j omega t. Okay, and hr of j omega, yr of j omega, and h of e raised to j omega. Okay, let me just redraw the processing system first. So as in now, this is your C2D converter. You have a x continuous of t given. It's passed through a discrete time system, and this is your x of n, this is y of n, and then this goes through a D2C, and this is your yr of t. This has got a cutoff of t, this has got a sampling rate of t. So now what is C2D is, there is a multiplier c of t with p of t. Okay, and then you have, this is your xs of t, and you convert this into a impulse train into two discrete time signal sequence, right? Two discrete time sequence, which is your x of n. So let's look at this A figure first. This is your A figure. So now x continuous of j omega is your this guy here, minus omega m to omega n. Okay, this is x continuous of j omega. Your p of j omega, which you have done it a lot of times, is let me rescale it first properly so it becomes easier to visualize. Yeah, so let's just say that this is your omega m, this is minus omega m, and this is 0, this is xc of j omega, and this is 1. P of j omega has got at 0 at omega s minus omega s, and this continues for till 2 omega s, right? Okay, so now so now this will turn into, this will give me the so now my xs of j omega will be the same xc of j omega. It's actually 1 by t summation k equal to minus infinity to infinity xc of j omega minus 2 pi k by t, right? This is what you have. So what will happen is, this guy will be minus, this will be plus omega m, minus omega m, this is 0, and it will repeat every omega s. This is omega s minus omega m, so omega s plus omega m, and it will repeat. is 2 omega s minus omega m, and so on. So it will keep on going like this, minus omega s. Okay, so this is what you will have. Now your x of e raised to j omega will be using the transformation omega equal to 2 pi omega by omega s. This is the transformation which is used. So when I do that, my 0 omega m is omega m will be at omega equal to omega m, omega equal to omega m, omega becomes equal to 2 pi into omega m by omega s. This is where your omega m is given as omega s by 4, right? So omega will become 2 pi into 1 by 4, which will be pi by 2, and so omega m will be pi by 2. So pi by 2 to minus pi by 2, and this will repeat every 2 pi. So this is 3 pi by 2, this is pi, this is 5 pi by 2, and so on. Okay, this is what you will get. And your so the amplitude here is 1 by t, the amplitude here is 1 by t. Okay, so minus 5 pi by 2, this is 2 pi, minus 2 pi, and this is minus 3 pi by 2. Okay, now this is the conversion which we are using. So coming back to this diagram, this x of n, we have got till x of e raised to j omega now, right? We have got this. Now what we are saying is there is a discrete time system which has got a frequency response of h of e raised to j omega, which is an ideal low pass filter with cutoff of pi by 8. So ideal low pass filter will look like something like this. So h of e raised to j omega is a discrete time Fourier transform, right? So what happens is discrete time Fourier transform is periodic around 2 pi. So I will have, it's having a cutoff of pi by 8 to pi by 8. Pi by 8 is the cutoff. So this will repeat every 2 pi. So this will be 15 pi by 8. This will be 17 pi by 8, and so on. So there will be one here centered at minus 2 pi, and so on. So this will be minus 15 pi by 8, this will be minus 17 pi by 8, and so on. So so when you pass through this x of e raised to j omega, you know that y of e raised to j omega is x of e raised to j omega into h of e raised to j omega, since this is a discrete time system. Here is LTI. So x of n and y of n, they are related by convolution, and in the frequency domain it's a multiplication operation. So your y of e raised to j omega here will be x of e raised to j omega into h of e raised to j omega. Okay, so what you get here will be y of e raised to j omega will be, if I use this, my pi by 8 is somewhere here. Okay, if I multiply the two, what I get here will be something like this: 0, this is 1 by t, this is 1, this is 1, this is 1. So this is 1 by t, is from minus pi by 8 to pi by 8. So this is what you get, since your discrete time Fourier transform is periodic around. So let me just okay, so this is what you will get. So this is minus, this is 15 pi by 8, this is 17 pi by 8. Same thing will be here. Okay, so this is what you will get. This is 1 by t maximum value, and this is minus 17 pi by 8. This is minus 15 pi by 8. This is minus 2 pi. So these are the values. This is the spectrum which you will get. Now this will continue every 2 pi. So 4 pi also you will have a repetition, minus 4 pi that will be a repetition, 6 pi that will be a repetition, and so on. Now this y of e raised to j omega is passed through a D2C converter. So your D2C converter has got, first thing is it uses the impulse response. This particular sequence, discrete time sequence, is converted into an impulse train where you get your y of e raised to j omega t. This is ys of t. Okay, and then you pass it through a reconstruction filter. There is a reconstruction filter with a cutoff of pi by t. Since this is t, so cutoff of pi by t, and you get your output, which is yr of t. Okay, so we have seen till y of e raised to j omega. Now the next part of the process is how do we get to the other side, like D to C conversion. So we have this, so let me draw this, the D2C conversion has got, as per what we had discussed before, it's got discrete time sequence to impulse train conversion, okay, which is like you have y of n coming in and it gets converted to ys of t, and then you have a reconstruction filter with a cutoff of pi by t, and you get your output, which is yr of t. Now the frequency responses of these signals are, this is y of e raised to j omega, okay, this is ys of j omega, which is same as y of e raised to j omega t, okay, and the reconstruction filter has got an impulse response of hr of j omega, and the output is yr of j omega. This is what we will see. Now let's okay, so now here what we'll do is, we know this is y of e raised to j omega is known, which is a filtered version of your x of e raised to j omega, which is from my pi by 8 to minus pi by 8, and this is centered, this is periodic, since you know discrete time Fourier transform is periodic, and this is 17 pi by 8, this is 15 pi by 8, and then you have another one, okay, this is minus 2 pi, this is minus 15 pi by 8, this is minus 17 pi by 8. So now ys of j omega is same as y of e raised to j omega t. So what you get is, when you substitute omega is equal to omega t, so you will be getting your ys of j omega. So the conversion is omega will be omega by t. Okay, so to move to a scale from digital omega to a analog omega, what you will be doing is, we will be, okay, to move to a scale from analog omega to a digital omega to analog omega. So you know that it's going to be having the same waveform. Okay, it's going to be the same waveform. So let me try. Okay, now instead of so at omega equal to pi by 8, your omega will be pi by 8t. So this is what the scaling will be. So this will be pi by 8t, this will be minus pi by 8t, and then your this frequency here will be 2 pi by t, which is your omega s, right? 2 pi by t will be omega s. So this will be omega s, this will be 17 pi by 8t, this will be 15 pi by 8t, and so on. So this is how you will get these waveforms. Minus omega s, this is 15 pi minus 15 pi by 8t, this will be minus 17 pi by 8t, and so on. So this is your ys of j omega. Now it's passing through a, now the other one is there is a reconstruction filter. Reconstruction filter has got a, now you know that the amplitude here is 1 by t. Reconstruction filter has got a impulse response which is not periodic now, because it's a continuous time Fourier transform of a filter, of a analog function or a continuous time function. So this is 0, and it's got a cutoff at pi by t and minus pi by t, okay, and the value is t, okay. So here this in omegas it is like omega s by 2, and this is minus omega s by 2. So this is your HR of j omega. I know my YR of j omega. YR of j omega is HR of j omega into YS of j omega, multiplication of these two responses. So if I multiply this, what will happen is this will go to 0, this part of the spectrum will go to 0, this part of the spectrum will go to 0, and what you will be left with is only you will get a spectrum which is YR of j omega will be from minus pi by 8t to pi by 8t, okay, pi by 8t. So this is what you will get, and the magnitude will be 1, the maximum magnitude. So this is multiplying by t, right? So this will be the output of this will be the spectrum of YR of j omega in the end. Clear? So one correction which I have to do is I think in the P of j omega I hadn't mentioned the factor. This is 2 pi by t, this is 2 pi by t, okay. This amplitude is 2 pi by t, then this is 1 by t, fine, 1 by t, this h of e raised to j omega is 1, this 1 by t, and this is 1 by t again, okay, and this is 1 by t, and so on. So this is the output which you will get of that system where you are inputted xc of t and you are expecting yr of t, right? I told you to find out the spectrum, the frequency response of this. So this will be the frequency response, and it's not going to be a periodic function, since you know that the Fourier transform of a continuous time signal is not periodic, okay.